Hey everyone, Smash Trivia John here. I wanted to take a moment to alert you about the fact that there's been a change on the Smash Trivia Patreon. So we now instead of having the having tiers going up to $10, we only have them going up to $5. But that does not mean you're not getting you can't get the content that was on the $10 tier, as both the one night smashes and the challenging smashy to Keith's trivia is now a part of the $5 tier, so you get even more content for just $5. It's a hell of a deal. I highly recommend you join the Patreon, and I would really appreciate if you did that. And also, I also wanted to tell you about something that is happening. So, we are finally getting into October. And you know what October means? It's spooky time. So, we have on the Patreon, we're going to have a spooky She-Hulk comic that features both She-Hulk and The Thing. And then we also have our B-Smash, which is going to have not one, not two, not three, not four, but 5 B-Smashes this month, including in all 4 of the Halloween Town films, and also Rob Zombie's The Munsters. I'm so excited for all of that, and I will also be making sure that Keith at the end of the month gives me some trivia and some Smasher passes that are relating to Halloween. So that's gonna be very, very exciting. I really hope you join us for this spooktacular season of Halloween. And also, even if you aren't gonna be on the Patreon, you're also going to get some spooky stuff on the normal podcast, as I have planned out. After She-Hulk ends, we're going to have 2 spooky episodes of the Gamma Analysis is in coming near the end of October, and one of these episodes will be featuring a trivia question that I've had up my sleeve. I've been waiting to use since the very beginning of this podcast, back in November of last year. I've been wanting to use this trivia question, but I've been waiting for the spooky time, because it's a great spooky question. I'm so excited for you all to see what I have cooked up for you. And that is all I want to say. Thank you everyone for listening to my podcast. I really appreciate everyone who listens. All right, back to the regularly scheduled podcast. Hey everyone, welcome to Smash Trivia. I'm your host, Smash Trivia John. You can find me on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Instagram by searching Smash Trivia. Follow everything happening with me. I'll be the one with the big old green head in the profile picture. So excited to get into this. This is the Gamma Analysis. Basically, in this series, I'm going to review everything Hulk, all the movies and TV shows. Hope you enjoy. Smash Trivia presents the Gamma Analysis. I want to ask everyone listening if they could please do something for me. Please share the hell out of this podcast with all your friends. For this episode, I am finally reviewing She-Hulk, Attorney at Law's season finale. I'm saying season finale because I'm very hopeful that there's going to be a season 2 of this. And I'd like to take a moment to say that Smash Trivia now has a Patreon, and so please check that out. We have some fantastic extra content on there that I bet you'll love. The tiers are as follows: $1 a month is Hulka Holla for $1, $3 a month is the Reading Room with Hulkie and Shulkie, and $5 a month is Smashing the TV. Tonight, I'll be joined by my co-host, Keith. How are you doing, Keith?
I'm doing good. How you doing, John?
I'm doing good. And also I have with me Annabelle from the Vendetta podcast. How are you doing, Annabelle?
I'm doing great, John. I'm so happy to be here.
Good. All right. And we had another guest we were planning on having, but she has not arrived yet. So so hopefully we'll hear from her later in the episode. All right, so I have a really hard trivia question for you guys.
Oh,
so
shit.
since at the end of this episode, Blonsky asked about if there's Wi-Fi at Kamertage, what did we hear is the Wi-Fi password back in Doctor Strange?
Fuck.
I'm gonna let Annabelle try first because I
No.
I know it.
It's like sham something, right?
Oh.
Oh no. Oh,
You are on the right track.
Sham Walla.
Oh, so close.
So
Oh.
close.
Yes, it's Shambhala.
Ah!
There's
I knew it. I can see the scene in my brain, but I can't make out the word.
I'm like 95% sure, and the only reason I think it's Shambhala is because every time I see that word anywhere, I'm immediately taken back to an episode, one of my favorite episodes of Lost, where Hurley starts up a old Dharma Initiative van the entire episode, and then he drives around. That's the song playing on the radio, and it's such an awesome ending because he's just driving around after being marooned on an island for like, I don't know, 60 days or something like that. It's just fun. It's a fun episode. Anyways, blah blah blah. No one watches Lost here. If you haven't seen that.
Yeah, I've seen Lost.
Nice. Yeah. Anyways, well, I guess we'll find the answer out at the end.
Yes. Okay, so I will let you guys know if you got it correct later. And our Hulka Holla for $1, we have film critic Derek Sager and Gabriel Floral. And as always, I highly recommend watching the episode before listening to this. The podcast I want to shout out this week is the Gruesome Twosome podcast, where two ladies talk about all things horror. I listened to 3 of their episodes this week, and they're absolutely fantastic. I highly recommend checking them out. For the entire month of October, because this is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, I'm putting 3 donations in the description of all my episodes. Those are Fuck Cancer, Cancer Teamwork Response, and the Breast Cancer Research Foundation. All right, and so we have normally I would have the people's thoughts on the episodes as a whole at the end of the episode, but I'm going to for at least Keith, I'm going to have him tell us that at right now, because I know that he does not have a ton of time with us tonight. This is going to be a definitely a very interesting episode. We have one person who's not here yet, and one person who's probably not going to be here for the whole episode.
It does sound like you'll have company for at least all parts of the episode.
Definitely.
I appreciate that, John. I appreciate you working around my schedule. It's a chaotic one this week. I apologize.
No, that's definitely understandable. I've already had you recording with me once this week. That's probably hit the quota.
That was a good time too. And I enjoyed how much we gabbed about werewolves and everything Halloween. My thoughts on this episode. This episode was a roller coaster for me. It started off really strong for me, paying homage to the 70s Hulk series, which I purely love because of you, John, because you've given me a serious appreciation for that original show and its ridiculousness and its cheesiness and how dated it is. It's really fun to watch. And you can watch along with me and John watching that on the Gamma Analysis podcast. Every non-She-Hulk week of the year, we will be talking at some point about the Hulk from the 70s. Pros I liked about this episode: I really enjoyed the Disney Plus menu thing. That was very funny. That got me, and it got a lot of people from what I understand. It's just it felt so real to have like that accent. Like I playing on my PS4, I hit the wrong button and it goes wong, and it goes back to the menu. You're like, what did I do? And you have to like get back in.
And honestly, even though that was obviously it was obviously all animation for that it didn't look bad. It looked good. It looked really cool. Like it literally looked like you had a real She-Hulk breaking into Disney Plus.
Yeah, and I love that she like kicks down her own thumbnail and then jumps down and does the little kick up into it. That was really cool. I enjoyed Pug and Nikki's mission during this episode. I thought it was one of the highlights for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed the NDA joke. I enjoyed Jen and all of her line deliveries as usual. I think honestly the greatest thing a show can do that's that's solely dependent on a brand new character that you've never seen before. I mean, with Hawkeye, we got Hawkeye, right? He can guide us into liking Haley's, what's her name?
Kate Bishop.
But her name in real life is
Haley Steinfeld.
Haley Steinfeld. I knew it was
Yep.
something Steinfeld. All right. I knew it
And
rhymed with
you
Seinfeld.
probably would know that I would be tell you that
Big fan.
when she's literally my biggest celebrity crush. So
Me too, John. Me too.
She's the big underdog in that series because she's the new one, right? So you've got Yelena and you've got Hawkeye, both people that people are really excited to see. Well, most people are excited to see Hawkeye, but and then you got a brand new person. So there's a lot of, and like WandaVision, Loki, what other shows? I mean, Falcon and the Winter Soldier. These are all shows that have no one new really to introduce except for maybe tertiary supporting characters, whereas this is another example of a show like Moon Knight where you're introduced to a brand new world. You got a bit of help, bit of supporting actor help with Wong, Bruce, and Emil, but for the most part she has to hold her own, and she does. And I think that all through this season the best thing that they did with this show was casting. They cast the hell out of Jen, and she's great. So the biggest highlight for me was sadly at the beginning with that old Hulk homage. Things were a little wonky after that, where things slowed down. And yes, I liked the pug stuff with the infiltration of the incel group and all the misogynist jokes, making fun of misogynists online and how they just sound when they talk in person as well. And use the word female a lot and things like that. I really enjoyed how annoyed Pug was at the fact that he had to be gross for a little bit. That was great.
Well, like I honestly felt bad for Pug having to do that.
It's so unnatural for me. Ew. Yeah, that was pretty funny. Things started breaking down for me. The episode started breaking my heart, is the way I'll phrase it. First with Hulk Todd. I understand that everything about this character is supposed to be creepy, but when you make a Hulk version of a character and he's going to give me nightmares for all the wrong reasons, like the way he looks, his bug eyes, the fact that he's still wearing his scarf and t-shirt, and he's like, "Come at me, bro." It was funny, but the design on that character is so creepy.
Yes, it's funny. I need to come at me, bro. But also, like to me, when I heard that, I was like, Todd is usually pretty calm and collected. That didn't seem like it sound like how Todd usually talks.
Well, you got the Hulk juice. Not everybody's good at hiding that anger. You know what I mean?
That makes sense.
Jen's just okay with it until episode 8, as we saw. So Hulk Todd bothered me a little bit. It reminded me of the bad guy at the end of Roger Rabbit. If you've ever seen that, he takes off his sunglasses, his eyes start bugging out. It's so disgusting.
Christopher Lloyd's character.
Yes. The meta stuff was a lot of fun, and what it comes down to, it's going to be a big decision for them in the future going forward with, and I absolutely believe that She-Hulk should have a season 2. She-Hulk should be in as many movies as we can get her in. I love the character. What they're going to have to decide with the fourth wall breaking is pointing out that stuff is happening enough to make it funny or enough to make it solve. Like by just mentioning things, is that erasing that those bad tropes or those bad stereotypes are still there? Or is it like, oh, we cured it by just mentioning it. We know what we're doing. And it's like that happened a lot for me in this episode. She just kept mentioning. It's like, yeah, but you're not fixing it. And for us to go from, the whole change, when you take out that middle part where she goes and talks to Kevin, and you go from where they left off to where they start back up again in the actual context of the episode. Like Todd changed, Emil changed, night turns to day. They all wrap in. I was like, what the fuck happened to that drama? I enjoyed the hell out of the end of episode 8 because it seemed like a huge tonal shift. And I was like, oh, they played like the happy-go-lucky, funny sitcom up until this point where everything seemed to be crashing down on her. And I was really excited that this finale would continue some of that dread and some of that terror for her, because everything had been so hokey and fun up until that point. And I wanted that. I was not desperate for, but like excited for a change for her character to go through. And then we get back and everything, she has a goofy dream. Don't get me wrong, the dream was my favorite part of this episode, but it just went back to happy-go-lucky and everything is comical again and not not huge stakes. Like I expected higher stakes from the way that episode ended, where she's just looking into the camera and you don't hear anything from that fourth wall break. It's just her dread and what the fuck did she just do? Yeah, that was my biggest. I think in general that was my biggest.
I
gripe
can
with this
definitely agree with all of that. It's I think I like this episode a lot, but but I don't like how it doesn't really to me work from a narrative standpoint, because it's because you are building up all this stuff and then it's just gone, and you're and it's like, and there's then no everything becomes easy then for Jen, which is which, like, I like this as a comics fan and of She-Hulk, but at the same time there is a part of me that's like this does not work really as really you got
it's not sustainable. You can't.
You gotta do this. I think they could have done on it better, where you could have had like most of the episode is the normal thing, and like the villains end up actually winning, and then that's where she changes things.
Yeah.
So that she's so that they don't win. So that she actually does have to fight through these things, whether it be as a superhero or in court.
Yeah, and I truly was let down by the fact that the meta stuff, like I say, hilarious going into the writers' room, talking with the writers, hilarious to breaking into Kevin Feige's office, this Kevin bot, this MODOK Kevin hybrid, and yet, as much as it was fun to hear her talk on the very self-effacing commentary about the MCU as a whole and how they're not very good at the women's stories and they're constantly, doing this, that, and the other formula, the same kind of thing over and over again, very similar to Super Soldier Serum. I thought that was a really good comment. But then she can fix it with a snap, and turns out Jen's biggest superpower isn't super strength, it's plot convenience. And it's like, no, you just made everything easy for you. And it's like, what? Why are we not talking about that more? You have a problem with anger? You can just fix it.
One thing I think they did particularly do with the episode to try to help with that is at the very end of when she's talking to Kevin, he says that we fixed the problem in our system, so meaning she can never do something like this again. She can never change everything again.
That's true. This is the last conversation you'll have with Kevin, or last interface.
And I think they did that less so even for her own series, but so that in the future when she appears alongside the Avengers, she can't just change things.
Yeah, and that has to be the way, because overpowering her.
Yeah, that's how it's always been in the comics. Like, she can do these things in her comics, but then when she enters someone else's comic, though she may be able to break the fourth wall every once in a while to talk to the audience, she doesn't actually do anything changing anything.
You have to put parameters on her and on Deadpool going forward. You can't. He went at the end of that second movie, because I don't know if they thought that was going to be their last or whatever. They just go into all this like changing of history over all the X-Men and all the Fox universe. It's funny, but it's like, if you could do that, like, what can't you fix by time travel, or what can't you fix by fourth wall breaking? It's kind of insane.
Yeah. I remember. So I think it was last month. Have you seen the YouTube channel How It Should Have Ended?
No, I haven't.
You've never, Keith, have you ever heard of the YouTube channel How It Should Have Ended?
How It Should Have Ended? Yes. Yeah.
So
the
they
cartoon,
do,
right? They do a good animation.
They do cartoons of how like parody things of what of how these things should have ended, these films. And Thor: Love and Thunder, they were like no, at the end when they in their eternity, they're like oh no, instead of using your wish on this, I'm just gonna have my friend Hulk come over here and we're going to use our time travel tech to bring you back to your daughter. It's like, yeah, that's definitely is a problem that is something that they can do.
Yeah. It's tricky when you're dealing with, and I imagine we didn't, when would we have started to figure this out until this many movies in, where you're sharing all this universe with each other. Like, when the Avengers level threats come about and you have Avengers level solutions, then those solutions need to have an expiration date. Like, you need to be able to use this once and only once, because you fuck with time too much, or you fuck with reality.
Pretty sure
too
that's
much.
why with Love and Thunder they made it so it was only one time that eternity can be used.
Nice. True. It's like, oh no, now you're done and I have a daughter. We're going to the beach. The other pros I have, I really liked the budgeting and VFX jokes that they made about how like A, putting things in daylight, B, like you have to transform off camera because that's really expensive and they've already moved on to Black Panther. That was funny. And I really enjoyed seeing Matt Murdock again, and mainly because the father and like everybody discussing and talking at him, no one's laying a label on anything because they're not a couple. They're not. Sorry, my fiance is modeling our new cat carrier that just showed up. She's shaking her butt and she's showing it like a purse. That's so small. How are we gonna fit our fat cat? Oh, that'll be the skinny cat's carrier. Got it. Okay, cool. That works. Yeah. But yeah, it was nice to not put a label on it.
Kind of were putting a label on it. At least
just
like
visiting
with them being like we gotta talk to you about children.
Well, I mean,
I would say that's kind of putting a label on it. Not them putting a label on it, but the family trying to.
Yes, that's very true.
I would say, yeah, that's more like the parents being like, oh, that's what every parents do with their grown adult woman child. They're like, grandbabies, please give me grandbabies.
Yeah,
please. I can vouch for that. My father-in-law is always grandbabies.
I had to keep telling my mom around my brother Claude's wedding. I was like, you can't immediately tell them they gotta have children. That's not okay.
We're gonna hear that at the wedding in January. I know we are, and we decided a long time ago that we're getting together because we don't want children. We want cats. We're fine with cats and traveling the world. We don't want children.
That's perfect.
I love the idea also that someone would call their daughter their grown adult woman child. I love you, Annabelle, for saying that. That was really funny.
It was a very Annabelle thing to say.
All right, so we have another guest here, that being Betsy, aka JynandTonics, aka the Spooky Space Viking.
Yes.
Hi.
Nice.
Hi, I'm so sorry. It is now 6:45 my time. I didn't double check. I didn't do my due diligence. I'm so sorry.
I thought
I just trusted John. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I thought I had put your time right.
Yeah,
I probably would have messed it up anyways, so it's okay.
I didn't know you were.
I had a feeling. I was like, I should check. Well,
Well,
it's like daylight savings time and stuff. Like, I just never know because we don't do it, so I have no idea like what else to do. I'm like, we never change our time. We are just chilling. So, yeah. But hi, sorry.
Hi, that's all right. I'm gonna start getting into the actual breaking down this episode. So first off, as Keith mentioned, we have I absolutely love the 70s Savage She-Hulk intro. It's such a perfect callback to the 70s Hulk TV show. And I think they might even have used some footage from that pilot episode of the show to create this. It's at least for some of the shots that don't actually show Jen in them. And I'm hoping that means that maybe they have the rights to the show so that maybe in the future we could actually see that show added to Disney Plus. I know Keith and I, because we've been reviewing it, we have obviously seen that show. Have either Annabelle or Betsy, have either of you ever seen any of the 70s Hulk?
No, I have not.
I've seen clips,
Okay.
but I've never watched like whole episodes. But I've seen clips because I love Lou Ferrigno.
Yeah, that's great. Always great. But how did you guys feel about this opening, since being people who have not seen that, so you wouldn't probably have at first gotten the connection there?
I personally really liked it. It was a change. It was refreshing. And I liked seeing Mark Ruffalo in the 70s version as well. Yeah, I really liked that.
That was nice.
His little cheesy look off to the side.
Yeah. And the glasses. I love the glasses on him.
Yeah, that was funny. It reminded me of a lot of like old crime shows like Columbo or like Murder She Wrote kinda. Like the very grainy, like random, like cut to shots, I thought it was really cool. And also all the like costumes. I love the 70s. So that was really nice to see their like range that they did. It was really cool. I wish they would do like a whole show like that. I'd watch it.
Oh yeah,
Season 2.
I
Here
think
we go.
I think that I know that I'm going to need to get Betsy on one of our 70s Hulk episodes then.
Definitely. No,
Please.
it's a blast. Honestly, sitting through
I'll
all the
do
things that
it.
are dated as well as the ridiculousness that some of these episodes have plot wise. And you're just like, people just ate this up every week, huh? That's amazing.
Yeah, I love
It's
watching,
wild.
like, seeing how far we came. I'm like, wow, I'm blessed to be born in this generation.
Oh yeah, I like the 70s Hulk show is something that I love going back to and seeing, but I would not consider it a good adaptation at all of the comics, as there's as like Hulk definitely should be a lot bigger than he is than that, and then also I hate how there's I hate the reasoning for why he's not called Bruce in the show.
Oh gosh, so lame. Yeah. Do you know that? Have you heard that story? Either of you?
No.
So he's called David Banner instead of Bruce Banner purely because at the time the producers thought that the name Bruce was too gay.
Oh, shut up. Oh my
Yep.
god.
Not awful. Yeah,
I would
names
say
like
Crazy.
Bruce is like
and
the
Lance.
straightest name I could think of.
Yeah,
now, for some reason, at the
Yeah.
time, the story was very different. I don't know.
Yeah.
A name does not decide that kind
And
of thing. So
They
it's
thought
so
David
weird.
was better.
So-
What was it, David? Come on.
Yeah,
David.
what?
It's so weird.
Everybody
yeah.
list everybody that you know that's gay that's named David. No, I'm just kidding.
I was like thinking, I was like, at least two. At least two.
There you go.
Oh man.
It's way gayer.
So I love how as when we get out of that dream sequence and in the jail, I love how Pug mentions that how he managed to stay calm calling the freaking Hulk. I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Oh man. And I really wish we saw that Jen actually go to court and before just agreeing to not turn into She-Hulk, because I think I think this final episode should have at least had one courtroom scene in it. It's sad as me they didn't.
Yeah.
I thought
And it's always cool to see the lawyer get lawyered. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, you're fine. I thought watching this, I have thinking that she was going to go to court and call Matt to be her lawyer.
Yeah.
That's what I was hoping was
I
going to happen.
I wasn't
that.
thinking that she would call Matt, but I was thinking like Matt.
He would come to her rescue.
Yeah, he would be like, like I get to New York, and then immediately sees that on the news. I feel like he would immediately be like, I gotta go back. I gotta deal with this because Jen is smart enough to know she should not represent herself in court.
John, how's he gonna see that on the news?
He'd hear it before anybody ever saw it.
I watched the news through echolocation. All right. I'm just teasing.
He's like, I figured it out on the plane. Don't worry.
Yeah,
Somebody's
that
watching
feels
it. I heard
like
it
that.
through their earphones.
Yeah,
That feels like the kind of
Heartbeats.
person he is, that he would just immediately be like, oh shit, this happened, I'm going back immediately to help her out with this. So the next day, and so we get this really nice scene where Nikki and Pug help Jen clean out her office. That was
cute.
pretty wholesome. Then Jen's at her house, watching the news, and we see that there's press outside of the house, and then we cut to a dinner with her parents, where her dad offers her to move back in.
What's her mom's name?
Elena?
Linda?
No, Elaine.
Elaine.
Elaine,
She's
yes,
like,
Elaine.
it's now my workout stuff is in there. So I work
I
out at 7 a.m.
You mean workout buddies.
I really did not like how the mom acted this episode.
She's kind of mean.
Yeah, like it felt like she didn't care about what her daughter went through. Like I feel like a mother in this situation should be like, yeah, you take as much time as you want with this case. Ace, you make these people pay for what they did to you. that's how I feel like a mother should be in this situation.
I don't
Yeah.
mean to overshare, but this reminds me of my fiance's parents exactly. Her dad is the empathetic one who's incredibly endearing and just lovely to her needs and listens. And the mother is just like, oh, I've got 15 things going on. I'm sorry, what did you say? Like, she wants to be there, but has a lot, like a short attention span.
I can understand that is like how the mothers are, but I feel like with something as crazy as your daughter's sex tape got leaked,
she's Kris Jenner. She's like ready to manager it. she's like, we can make some money off of this. So wait a second.
You're doing
I have some
great,
ideas.
sweetie.
Yeah. Her dad is so nice though. I'm like,
yeah, I love the dad.
I want him to be my dad. He's so nice.
Yep.
Oh, that drought joke. That was great.
Oh, man,
Yes.
That was so
water
funny.
pressure for days.
Smart too. I'm like, there we go. Finally.
I truly think this dad and the dad in Miss Marvel are the best dads in the MCU. Like they are just so good.
They're some of the
I need
only
them
dads
to
in the
meet.
Dad
MCU.
is-
So many dead dads.
The daddy issues, y'all. All the daddy issues.
Yeah.
Daddy issues.
Yeah,
She
we're
pointed out
coming
some-
round circle from the daddy issues era of Marvel, and I'm kind of excited.
Yeah.
We get wholesome dads now.
I'm excited for mom issues now. Like,
Yeah,
Yes.
we can explore
Oh,
a
yeah.
whole new land.
This is a joke that you right before the joke you just mentioned, Keith. But I love how when she moves back into her parents' house, we see the dad just spray the press with the hose, saying, "Get off my damn lawn." That was hilarious.
rightly so.
Then,
Piranhas.
Yep.
Yeah.
and then so in the evening we see Nikki comes over to help Jen with her investigation, and I love how Nikki just like she wants all the food and videos and photos of Jen that will embarrass her. Oh yeah, oh man,
Elaine, I love Elaine.
Yeah. I love Elaine. She's like leftovers. Thank you. That's me as a friend though. Walk in and I'm like, give me them baby pictures. I need blackmail. I need birthday material. Come on. I'm like, you should see the photos they have of me. I need something. Come on.
I was gonna be
Also-
so pissed if when she shared that college video or whatever, if they were trying to like paint her as a villain, I was like, wait a minute, not Nikki,
Oh.
leave
I
us alone.
sat up so
I
quick. I was like,
I
me
saw
too.
a lot of people theorizing
have
they were going to
something.
do that, and I saw a lot of people theorizing they would do that, and I was just like, no, please, no.
Remember when Jen backed up in the last or maybe a couple episodes ago, and Nikki like had the Wolverine kind of thing? She's like, she jumps out, and it's like, oh, okay, she's fine.
Yeah.
She's not actually a villain. But then the fact
Yeah.
that anyone would think that she would be the obvious tease for that is pretty hilarious.
Yeah. Like I would be very saddened if she became a villain.
Same. Yeah.
And also like so in this scene, I love of Nikki's outfit. She has a really great outfit this scene.
Was it like the
Or
silver?
her like hot red
Uh,
jacket, or is it pink?
Yeah,
something?
this was her. This was she's wearing a leather jacket and the skirt, and I think like she
Yeah.
had some chains on it.
You might be the next Luke Jacobson over there, John. You're noticing outfits.
Yeah,
and
you're like,
stuff.
I like
didn't
your
know that.
outfit.
Check that out. Holy shit.
Oh yeah.
She gives me. Have any of you seen The Nanny from the
Yes.
90s with Fran Fine? She dresses a lot like the nanny, and I think that's why I like it so much. It's like a lot of
Yeah.
tights and skirts and jackets, and I'm like, I love it.
Good call.
She's so cute.
I want to work in a professional setting so I can dress like that.
Yeah.
Just
Oh,
flashy
yeah.
and awesome. Yes, agreed.
I feel like I don't think I've ever seen the in nanny films, and but I think I would probably really
It's
enjoy
a
them.
sitcom, and you would have a
Okay.
blast. You'd
You
also
would- yeah,
instantly
it's so
have a crush
funny.
on Fran Drescher. So really,
Yeah, who doesn't though?
yeah, I still do. She was in an episode of Broad City like 3 years ago, and she looked like she
Yes.
hadn't
Oh,
aged.
that was such a good
It's like,
episode.
wow, it's amazing.
Magic.
Hmm. So Nikki says they'll destroy intelligentsia by all means necessary. unnecessary. And I just love that. She's just like me. I want to do the same to these assholes. Like, they deserve to be just crushed into the ground.
I didn't know or learn what the term incel meant until about maybe 3 years ago. My fiance showed me some amazing videos by this guy on YouTube called, I think his name's Sorrow TV, and in funny voices he reads posts on these fucking Reddit threads that are so cringy and so disgusting. But he puts on these hilarious. He's got a bunch of great videos. But when she started showing me these, I was like, oh no, am I like that? And she's just like, no, but I have to show you this. It's hilarious. I was like, oh okay. So then it like opened my eyes to this whole world of how guys can be toxic even when they don't know it, and it's just like, if every guy who's on the verge or on the fence could be shown just a huge list, a laundry list of the worst possible types of guys and how they react to stuff and how they freak out. Oh, she didn't text me fast enough or something. Oh, calm down and watch this and realize that's not cool and no one wants that. Yeah.
Yeah, and also just tell them, like, if you want a role model, just pick Pug. Pug is the best role model in the world.
Plus he's hot.
He is.
Yeah, I would smash. What?
Oh my god.
That's probably my new favorite line from any Marvel property.
I was so surprised that because I would have guessed that Intelligentsia is probably homophobic, but the fact that Todd saying he's hot and then another guy being like, I'd smash him, I was like, wow,
sometimes
that's surprising.
They're so into themselves that they can't help but be into others.
Yeah,
the call is usually coming from inside the house. Yeah.
I literally just laughed out loud. Yeah, I literally just laughed out loud when I heard them say that, because I was so surprised by it. We have another fuck Dennis Bukowski moment. I absolutely hate that guy with a burning passion.
Yes, fuck him.
That guy is just so annoying. We see Jen depressed in bed with everything that's going on, and she breaks the fourth wall, setting up the twist later, asking, "Is this what you guys want? I'm just being screwed over right here." And we have this hilarious moment where the narrator from that Savage She-Hulk opening comes back. But Jen's like, "No, we're not that off the rails."
I like that.
Jen decides to go to Emil's retreat for a few days, and she says that this is a mental health break, which I love that, because as it's a great message that even superheroes need mental health breaks.
Yep.
Everybody needs them from time to time.
Yeah, it's a huge thing people don't take seriously enough, and it's like, look, you can wait for a sickness to take you over and take you out of work, but a lot of time there's some sickness that you could just use a day off to fix, and that's crazy. That's
I feel like She-Hulk probably is one of the only Marvel shows where it could really work for them to do that. So I'm so happy they actually did. Yeah. So we then see a Nikki posts Jen's college dance video on Intelligentsia to get invited to a private event, but she can't go. So she enlists the help of Pug, who as I've said, I really feel bad that he had to do this, because you can see how much it pains him to act like a gross person like that. I just feel so bad.
What did you guys think of this scene? Was this was Pug the right guy for the job, or?
Yeah, I mean, he was just so adorable, trying to be like, I can't do it. No, I can't do it.
Yeah.
I want to know who raised him. I'm like, does he have a single mom? He's killing it. But honestly, nothing that the men said surprised me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of just another day.
Now, as far as criticism of that type of that corner of the world, whether it be online or in real life, did you guys feel it was kind of tame? How much ended up on the cutting room floor? How many lines do you guys think were just not used?
Oh, I thought it was
Probably a
pretty
lot.
tame.
You thought it was pretty tame,
yeah,
yeah.
I thought it was
There's
pretty tame.
definitely
I've heard way
Yeah.
worse in my own personal life.
Like
so.
it's impressive for
Yeah.
Marvel, but it's like Marvel and Disney
It-
and whatnot. It's the same thing as like the gay kiss in Eternals. It's like that's tame. We
Yeah.
understand that
weird.
this was a big leap and bound for you guys because it's like, oh, we don't want to piss anybody off. It's like,
'Cause it's
but please,
4
try.
seconds. Oh
Yeah.
my god.
It's weird that they would have something so serious as a sex tape last episode, but then this episode they're like, we're gonna go tame with the things that they say.
I was very annoyed that they didn't explore the fact of how how horrible that would be. Like, she stopped it obviously with her rage, but it probably got leaked. I imagine it got.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't they have gone further? Yeah, shocking.
Also, like, where are the news stations being like, oh my god, the revenge porn that is being displayed? Wow. Wow. Like, where is the public outcry?
Yeah.
If this was nowadays,
No.
TikTok, Twitter would have this handled.
How come
They'd
that
be like,
wasn't-
nope, she's good.
How come that was
Part
the
of me-
Titania's arc this episode instead of crashing through a wall and saying hi?
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
Jamila does on Twitter anyways.
Part of me wonders if if like the whole female lawyer words last episode might have actually been like a completely set up thing by Intelligentsia, and like other than Jen and her friends, everybody else was in on it and are saying and so so the actual public would have only seen the She-Hulk once she came outside as this seeming monster. I'm wondering if maybe that's why they but there still would have been still I feel like right of their being getting leaked onto the internet.
Yeah.
It really irritated me that, like, after the whole leak and everything and the reporters trying to talk to Jen, she wouldn't talk to them. It really irritated me that she wouldn't, because like they are painting you to be a villain right now. So especially in this day of age of social media, like Betsy said, you need to tell your story and get the public behind you.
It's exactly what Emil told her in episode 3. Like, you gotta take charge of your own story.
Oh, that's another positive that I enjoyed about this episode I didn't share earlier. Emil defending her and not being 100% evil made me very happy. I was a little confused. It was a little muddy of why he was there anyway and why he was hosting an intelligentsia thing at his lodge, but
I don't think he knew.
I
think he was just like, money? Thank you.
He's like, purely for profit. I enjoyed that a lot.
He like didn't look into it. He's like, we don't have Wi-Fi, so I can't Google them. You know, he's just like, you want to give me $1,000? Sure.
That was literally like that's one of my criticism with the episode is like I feel like Emil, I feel like he would do background checks on the people in groups that he does speaking for, and then also it's weird to me that Todd would want him to be their speaker, knowing that Emil is someone that and that Jen helped get out of prison, so he's probably not gonna be on their side. It's a weird
link
thing
up.
On
it was
both
like a coincidence of occurrences. It was. I do believe that his age. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, you're good. No, I think Todd, because like it's like a common thing when like people who look like you, like very similar, like male, same like skin color, white, you know, everything. Maybe he was like, oh, he'll be on my side. Like he only picked her as a lawyer because like he knew she would get him free, but like he'll agree with me, you know, like he probably hates her too because he hates the Hulk, you know, like he was like, I don't believe that he's reformed. So he's like, oh, 1 + 1 = 2, and he doesn't realize that there was like some parentheses in there somewhere to like
100%. That is definitely why Todd would pick Emil. I think also that Emil would be easily duped based on, not to be ageist, but the man's age. And his access to the internet has probably been limited for some time. And he's probably very easily duped, as you might see many boomers on Facebook right now.
Yeah, like you go tell a boomer about Reddit and then come back to me.
They're like, what it? What the?
Explain it one more time.
r/, huh? Yeah.
They'd be like confused. They'd be like, why are there letters?
I also think that Emil is at this point in his life where he's like peace and love. He's very peace and love
and profit.
And profit. So I
Yeah.
really don't think he would do background checks on the people. I really don't think he would, because he's just for the money. And if he can give a motivational speech, then that's a plus for him, because he's very peace and love right now.
It is really funny though that he walks in there and he's like, "All of you seem to be living your best lives," and he's like, "Yay!" And he's like, he doesn't really know what he's there to say, and that is very telling of a self-help guru, like speaker.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty great.
He also can protect himself from almost anything. So maybe he's like, whatever. Whoever calls me, it won't be a big deal.
He's gonna have some explaining to do to that parole officer who's got to go and fix his inhibitor again.
Gotta go to Comartage.
There's a there's in the credits. There's a drawing of him actually putting his inhibitor on a chicken.
Oh yeah.
Oh, what's that chicken that he was talking about? Lady Silk Feathers?
Yes.
Yeah. Let's see. Jen arrives at the retreat and she starts reading a Blonsky's haiku book. She doesn't like it, and then we see Nikki and Pug arrive at the retreat as well. Them for the Intelligentsia's meeting. They don't know this is Blonsky's retreat, which I'm surprised that they don't know. I feel like Jen would have probably told at least Nikki about that.
Yeah, it's kind of like her job.
Yeah.
It was like, wait a second.
One reason why she went out there by herself the first time is like, oh, you just that was a plot twist or a plot device to make sure that we completely believe that Nikki and Pug are going out there completely unaware. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, what does this lodge look familiar? Is it as big as it was before? It was a little confusing.
Yeah. Inside, Pug immediately upon talking, Todd notices him, saying, "Mother Pugger," which I thought was hilarious.
I didn't even notice that. Did not notice.
I didn't notice.
Todd's cringy, but that was funny.
Yeah. Todd started typing up a Pug. And then this is where they say the stuff that surprises me of them saying that the Pug is hot, and then one of the other guys wants to smash him. And then Todd asks if Jen boned Holloway, which I understand they're trying to make it out as like she's like a slut and she's just banging everybody, but I did surprise me that they're like, the old man, and we should ask if she banged the old man.
Oh no, you know why they did that? They did that because they were like, oh, she slept with him to get her job. That's why
that makes sense.
That. Yeah, and that shit pisses me off. It makes I'm
even
steaming.
They're blaming everything else on her powers. They're blaming everything else on her powers. So why would that be the one thing that she uses sex for? You know?
Because they hate women.
I was confused. They're dumb. I mean, I can't be surprised. The logic doesn't make sense. But
you'd be in that room. You'd be Pug in that room going, "Why are you basing everything on their powers except that?" They'd be like, I mean, if she was a guy, I would say the same thing. They'd
be like, kick her out. She's a witch. Get her out.
No, though I was surprised that Holloway wasn't also a part of this. I was thinking he might actually have been a part of it too. But them mentioning him there made me like, oh yeah, no, never mind. I guess he's not a part of any of this. He's just a jerk of a boss.
Yeah, he's just a prissy lawyer.
Yeah.
So Todd reveals that he's Hulk King. And at this exact moment, Nikki's call drops. So Pug is now on his own, and she doesn't trust his improv, so she starts heading over.
Keith and I just had a whole conversation with charades.
Sorry. I didn't mean to throw you off.
It's all right. Well, so Jen drinks some tea with Wrecker, and Wrecker tells Jen that Emil is down at the lodge for a private event. So Jen starts heading over.
Was anyone relieved when Wrecker took a sip of his tea first? She put hers down, and I was like, "Did he drink it? Did he drink his?"
Yeah.
I was a little worried.
I was watching that. I was like, I don't trust him yet. I don't trust him.
We've never seen him at nighttime since the mugging. And it was weird.
Yeah.
I was like, as soon as she pulled up and he was the first one there to greet her, I was like, I don't trust him again. Why is it so easy to go back and forth with this guy? It was weird.
Yeah, he's just standing out there like, hello. I'm like, why are you just chilling in front of the gate?
Yeah. I'm the greeting party, and I also mugged you. Isn't that funny? Don't we have a funny past?
This is cute. Don't you feel safe?
Oh man. So back at the lodge, Todd, now on stage, reveals a rented abomination as a guest speaker. And Jen then walks in, catching Emil, who who immediately turns back into human form to try and explain. And Jen and Nikki just slams through the door, say they gotta get out of there, and then Pug reveals everything to Jen, and it's happened that they are intelligentsia. I don't want to have to do this, but sadly, Keith has to go fight some dragons with just a ladle, so we're gonna have to continue this on without him.
I want a video of that, Keith.
Proof. Picture didn't happen.
I'll do my best. But you guys, you listeners, don't need more men talking about She-Hulk. You need these two awesome people, and you guys gotta remember to interrupt him, because I interrupt him all the friggin' time, and I've been working with him for a long time.
Yeah.
So please know that he is fine with that. He encourages it.
Yeah.
All right.
Perfect. I'm great at it.
I'm excited to hear you guys and your thoughts on it. Peace.
Bye, Keith.
Bye, Keith.
Bye.
Good luck fighting the dragons.
Yeah.
Thank you. It will be perilous.
Okay, so Todd reveals to Jen how he had Josh steal her blood, and that he synthesized it to turn himself into a Hulk himself, and he tries to say how he earned her powers while she did not, when in reality we all know he just paid for them.
Yeah,
Like,
that shit
that's
pissed
not
me off.
earning
Oh
it.
my god. And they kept saying like, oh, she inherited her powers. No, she didn't. She got her powers because Bruce's blood got into her blood. Exactly how Todd got his. What?
But
Exactly.
but also she paid or he paid to get it get this. She how it happened to her is she was trying to save her cousin's life. I would say that earns it.
Yeah.
It was like she got in a car accident. I think it's a little bit earning it, you know?
Yeah. Come on.
Yeah, like it's
Stupid man.
It's like if Elon Musk after buying Twitter is like, I earned Twitter. No, you just paid them a bunch of money so that you could make the site even worse than it already is.
That's kind of like his whole career. He's just botting his way everywhere.
You're not.
But you didn't hear that from me. Look it up. It's not great.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Todd is the Elon Musk of the MCU. In the meanest way possible, I mean that.
Oh yeah, like there used to be like comparisons between Tony Stark and Elon Musk, but at least Tony Stark was a good person, while Elon Musk just sucks.
Yeah, no.
Tony Stark had a heart, literally.
Yeah. I'm convinced Elon Musk is an alien. I'm convinced. I'm totally convinced.
Something's wrong with him.
Have either of you seen how just a few weeks ago he announced that for like $20,000 a piece that he's making these robots that are like signed right out of iRobot that can basically be like your personal servant that can it said it could carry up to 20 pounds.
See,
$20,000.
That's terrifying. He's trying to
alien.
He's trying to do something.
And also
he's trying to do something.
Just like
I don't trust
how
this.
many movies do we need before we'll realize that it's not a good idea to make these robots?
He's an alien. Why are you so obsessed with Mars, dude? Why do you want a colony on Mars? Why?
Why do we gotta go? What do you know that's there?
I'm all for going to Mars, but why are you so adamant about it? Yeah, I think
something fishy going on there.
Yeah.
So so he starts to turn into his Hulk version of himself, and there's like these really gross sounds to come with it. And Jen is like breaking the fourth wall here. They're not happy about how the season is ending, and then Titania just burst in for no reason whatsoever. I think it's just this point where like, all right, well, we're just gonna make it go off the rails as possible to make it seem like a bad ending.
Did
Yeah.
Nikki say the B word here?
Yeah, she
Like,
she
does that
said
bitch ever use a door?
Yeah,
I thought I was just making it up in my
exactly what
head.
she
I was
said.
like, oh shoot. I was like,
Yep.
they let it slide. I was like, I like this. Disney Plus is taking a turn.
Honestly, I feel like like these last two episodes, though there were a few curse words in the episodes before then, I feel like these last two episodes have had more cursing in them than they previously have had in this show. There was like there was multiple times while Jen was breaking the fourth wall last episode where I think one of them she said asshole, and then another she said shit, and then this episode you have Nikki say bitch, and you have Hulk calling Emil an asshole, which was I absolutely loved him calling Emil an asshole. That was hilarious. Emil grabs Jen to protect her from Todd, and then this is where Hulk just drops out right out of space, and he says, "Let go of my cousin, you asshole!" And then proceeds to fight Abomination, in which I love that we got at least a little bit of a rematch between those two. That was really fun.
I loved that too. Yeah.
I thought it was so cute when Emil like picked Jen up, like like no, not my friend, you know, like it's just because he's so big and like because she's Tatiana's so small. I was like, oh, that's cute.
Which I was surprised that I seeing Hulk and Abomination beside each other, how smart Hulk is a lot shorter than Abomination is now.
Yeah, he was so much smaller. I was like, wait a second.
Yeah. So Jen asks, "Is this working for you guys?" And then the Marvel page on Disney Plus pops up to as if the fans are just decide they don't want to watch the show anymore. Or which
did anybody look for their remote when this happened?
Oh, I totally thought.
I thought I laid on it.
Yeah.
I was like,
what did I do?
I wasn't thinking so much. It was a mistake, just because like if it were a mistake, I think or like where my Disney Plus just took me out of it, it would have just taken me back to the home screen, because it's because I clicked on She-Hulk from the home screen. I didn't go through the Marvel tab, so that kind of clued me in that it was like there's something happening here.
Oh, you're actually thinking, John. I was not thinking at all.
Yeah, I was watching it at like 6 a.m., so my brain was not there. It was not caught up.
Jen breaks the inhibitor, Hulks out, and then breaks into the Disney Plus page and swings on over to Assembled to go onto a Marvel lot, which I really enjoyed her swinging through the Disney Plus screen. I thought that was hilarious. She then sneaks into the She-Hulk writers' room. They're talking about out season 2, and the actual head writers, Jessica Gao, and I think also Kat Corio, are there, which is really cool. It wasn't just actors playing a writing team. That I thought that was really nice.
Yeah.
I know.
I like that Marvel like incorporates all those people into them for like a little extra job. It's cute.
Oh yeah. And Jen wants to change the story, but they say that this is the story that Kevin wants, and Jen decides that she's going to head to go find quote unquote him. And I'm pretty sure that they filmed this in the actual Marvel Studios building, because when Jen steps out of the elevator, have right behind her is this like galaxy sort of looking wall with the word as Marvel Studios on it. This exact same wall is seen in a picture of a room that Ryan Reynolds posted last year on social media to tease that he had a meeting with Marvel. So I'm pretty sure they actually did film this at the actual Marvel Studios building.
Probably.
Which is kind of cool.
Yeah, it's all about the details.
It's cool to like see the actual inside.
Yeah. And the reception...
Probably save some money too, since She-Hulk is so expensive.
The receptionist has Jen sign an NDA as he calls security, which I love the joke that everybody has to sign it in it because Marvel is so secretive. But what I think would have made it even better is if they called out Variety for spoiling multiple films last year. And having the joke being like either or Variety always seems to break the NDA, or like them say like it's because of Variety that everyone now has to sign. I think that would have made it even better, just because it really was annoying last year when they like spoiled both Eternals and No Way Home immediately after the premieres.
Yeah, or they could have added that journalist that immediately ruined Harry Styles being at the end of Eternals.
That's what I'm talking about.
I was like,
dude. I think that journalist was with Variety, and it was
okay. I just saw his tweet. I didn't see any like of
and then Variety did the same thing with the 3 Spider-Man and in No Way Home. That was honestly, I feel like Variety should not be allowed to get to go to any events for Marvel going forward after that shit.
Ultras.
But sadly,
because it ruins the lore for everybody.
Yeah, but sadly, they because they're such a big a journalist, they're always going to get a pass.
Yeah.
So
I think Kevin took him into a room and was like, "Hey, strike 3, okay? You get one more, and then never again."
So Jen then breaks into where Kevin is, and it's like and it's very similar to when Wanda broke into Sword in WandaVision, which was which I think they were particularly trying to reference that when they with the scene. I thought that was really cool. Which this is actually something I predicted a few weeks ago. Not him particularly as a robot, but I literally he said like I think it was the 2nd of October that that I'm hoping that the finale would have her smashing her way into Kevin Feige's office to change the ending, which is it's so cool that that actually came true. We had and this is where we're now introduced to Kevin, and while I wish it were actually Kevin Feige in the flesh, this was a pretty cool twist, and I do like that this robot, it looks like he has a baseball cap on just to make it even more like Kevin Feige.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, it's right above the like 3 lights on him. Yeah, it was so.
Yeah, it's like there's like a little like black thing that covers it, so it's like half red, half black. I wish like at least I thought it was gonna be like Kevin Feige's voice or something, like a very like robotic version of it. But its voice was kind of cute. Cool. It cracked me up.
Yeah,
I really liked it. It was like it gave me like very much comic book vibes. Like, oh, I'm going to speak to a person, and then haha, it's not a person. You know, like the crazy stuff that they do. So it was kind of fun.
And Kevin tells her to so that she must turn back into Jennifer because she's very expensive and she needs to turn around because the VFX department has already started work on another show. She says that she should get to choose what happens in her show. She gives an entire speech about the show and the MCU as a whole, and how there's been this big problem that a lot of Marvel films just end the same way, which is definitely a very valid criticism of the universe. And she then proposes that they make this ending different, more in line with what's her stakes of her life falling apart, just as she's learning to be both Jen and She-Hulk. they erased the blood plot, taking Todd's powers away, and she also wants Bruce removed. And Kevin tries saying that but they want to explain what he was doing and introduce dot dot dot, and she cuts him off, saying that just save that for the movie. Which after this, I really hope Marvel announces that World War Hulk film soon. Like I really want to see that film so badly.
I'm sure
they gotta get their ish together on movies they've already named before they can do that. I know there's like a bunch of unnamed projects, but I'm like, come on, let's get a Blade script.
Yeah,
and then we can keep going.
Oh yeah, there's and I know that I know when they delayed a bunch of films earlier this week, there was one film in there that actually is now an untitled film. Which is now, I think it's in the date that they were going to have Secret Wars. So I feel like if you're gonna move Secret Wars out of that date, you gotta have something that's big in that date. So I'm hoping maybe that could be World War Hulk.
What year was that? Was that 2025 or 2026 for that untitled one?
2025, I believe.
Okay.
So it was that both, I believe it was both Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars were going to be in 2025, but then they delayed a Secret Wars earlier this week into May of 2026, and then they put an untitled Marvel film on the date that it was going to be Secret Wars.
Got it. Now. Okay. It's too many delays, so I can't keep track.
There's I was hoping that we're done with delays after 2 years after the pandemic, but sadly we're probably not gonna be done for a while.
Probably not. And maybe if we have to keep delaying things, maybe we shouldn't be putting untitled things in spots that were being delayed.
Why'd you have to tell us? Now we're all excited out here. Like, come on, give us a break. We're getting a Mephisto solo movie. That is my final conclusion. If they're gonna make me guess, I'm gonna go crazy.
So Jen asked that Emil hold himself accountable, and she also asked that it's in daytime, and that she gets to see Matt again because a woman has needs. And Kevin says they've been historically very lacking in that department, which I absolutely love that joke. Like, because that is definitely a thing. They have been very lacking within the MCU.
Yeah, I'm hoping they turn it around, because compared to the comics, nobody's banging.
Yeah.
But like, I want the comic regularness. Come on.
Oh, that's which, like, I feel like we could start getting more of that in a season 2 of She-Hulk, especially since She-Hulk had like literally the most there's more scenes of that in She-Hulk than there is mentions at least of that happening in She-Hulk than there has been across the entire rest of the MCU. I'm pretty sure.
I love it. Jessica Gao.
Yeah, which
she was on a mission.
Which is something honestly they should have in She-Hulk, because as in the comics, She-Hulk, Jennifer Walters, is a very sex positive person, and that's a massive part of her character, and that so it would honestly sadden me if they had removed that from the character.
Yeah, I really hope they continue on with She-Hulk and this Matt Murdock dynamic, because I think they have a really good chemistry.
Yes,
like just as people, not any as superheroes too.
I'm hoping they that they have her appear in Daredevil Born Again, partially because I'm hoping that's going to be a R-rated, and possibly we could get a scene with them actually in the bedroom.
We'll see.
You're like, I saw what you did on Netflix, and I'd like to see it here.
We can only
that
hope.
Electra scene, but was
hey, which like
fingers
honestly, honestly, that is a scene that both sides of attraction will have sides they will enjoy, whether you're attracted to women or you're attracted to men. They're both pretty hot people, so so there's like no downside to doing it. So let's see. So I love how they're just calling out Marvel throughout this all. And she decides to continue calling them out, bringing up the daddy issues, and then also, when are we getting the X-Men? That was crazy to me. They actually made a reference to the X-Men in name.
I loved it.
My
I
arms just went
absolutely
like
loved
straight
it.
up.
Yeah.
I was like, yes, thank you,
Oh,
Jennifer. That's
It
my
was
girl.
like it was like Marvel is telling us, we hear you, we understand you want the X-Men, just be a little bit more patient. We
Yeah.
gotta work out some legalities, and
Yup.
then we'll
We're
bring
trying,
them.
we promise.
Yep,
We're gonna keep
which-
referencing them to make you guys happy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, but just like there's a lot of those references in She-Hulk from first the Wolverine one in the article online, and then you had Nikki doing the schnicked motion in the last episode, and then you have this. There's a lot of them this show, which is really
Yeah.
cool.
Do you think they're gonna like classify her as a mutant because she
I
like
hope
took
not.
the Hulk blood so well? Yeah, I'm a little worried they're gonna run
Yeah,
a little too wild with it.
Yeah.
That was one thing after Miss Marvel. It kind of scared me that are they going to just start saying every superpowered individual is a mutant and just erase all the other forms, which I would hate if they did that, because there's so many different
Yeah.
forms. Like I just would be kind of pissed if they did that.
Yeah. The X-Men will need a lawyer though, so they could make her not a mutant, but she could represent all of them for all
yeah.
the destruction that they cause.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Juggernaut's gonna need her.
He's just got to make sure that he doesn't in the middle of a courtroom say, "I'm the Juggernaut, bitch."
Like, we're trying to keep that a secret, please.
Oh man. She then says that she has some thoughts about how season 2. Kevin cuts her off, saying that she won't have access again, and which I'm pretty sure they were doing that just for the people, so they're not worried that she's just going to destroy big events when appearing with the Avengers by changing things through her fourth wall breaking powers. So I am happy they had him mention that they fixed their systems, so she's now locked out. And as Jen leaves, she says, "Hulk smash things. Bruce smashes buildings. I smash fourth walls and bad endings, and occasionally Matt Murdock." I absolutely loved that line. That was such a hilarious line.
It was too funny.
Cackled. Oh my god, it was so funny.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's so good. And so Kevin messes with her by saying, "See you on the big screen," and Jen just gets excited, asking, "Really?" He says, "No." Okay, that better have been just a joke, because I'll be pissed if she never gets a chance to appear in the movies. She needs to get a chance to appear in the movies as well.
She has to be there.
Like that would be
She's
really annoying if
gotta.
she doesn't. Oh
Yeah.
man. So Jen comes out of the retreat as She-Hulk, confronting Todd, saying that she'll deal with him in court. Well, he wants her here to just hit him, which here is a big problem I have with the episode. I'm fine with her changing things, but this just feels too easy. Like nobody thinks of her as a monster anymore, and then like Todd just gives up, wants to be punished. Like that just felt too easy to me. But also like particularly nobody thinks of her as a monster anymore. There was nothing in that scene of her saying, I want to make it so there's no one thinks of me as a monster anymore. So that just people just leaving her alone kind of didn't make a lot of sense to me.
Well, I think they tried to explain that with her breaking the fourth wall and changing things. Like Todd doesn't have his powers anymore, and she approaches him as She-Hulk and then changes back to Jennifer to show that she's not the monster. So he was probably scared because he's powerless, and that's why he folded so easily.
She deleted all the fights so nobody would see her as a monster.
Still does kind of annoy me that that it feels just too easy for her. or like
It's
she
the
doesn't have to
classic
deal with
Disney Plus
any conflict
concept.
there anymore.
Yeah.
And like they could have at least like shown us like a bit of her going up against them in court after this, so that there's at least some kind of conflict, but they just cut past that.
I would have loved to see Todd like in the courtroom sitting there like with something like a black guy or something. And he's like, She-Hulk gave this to me. And his lawyer's like, no, you fell, you dumbass. But his lawyer's like Kowski or something. That would have been hilarious. And then you just like they hate each other. I think that would have been great.
There was in the is in the credits, there was a drawing of Todd in the courtroom, and and Jen being a lawyer there, and then it zooms in to show Josh is also there, and he's sweating out of his seat. Which is it definitely is what he should be doing in that scenario.
Yep.
I would have liked to see Josh get like a little by somebody.
Yeah.
Maybe Nikki.
Yeah.
If Nikki walked up to him and like slapped him and was like, how dare you do that to my best friend?
Like,
or like Pug punched him, like something like that.
Yeah, I was honestly
got off way too easy.
I was honestly hoping like for Bruce to just go up and be like, "Do you hurt my cousin? I'm going to put you into space. You deserve to be sent into space for what you did."
Yeah.
Because,
he's like, I'm watching you, and just give him that fear.
And yes, that kind of it. I maybe some people might think that's out of character for Bruce, but the thing is, it's really not, because like there have been multiple times in the comics where he has said, if anyone hurts my cousin, she's like in the comics, he said like she is the most important thing to him in his life. Like she was like, because him giving her his blood did sign great. It's like to him, he feels like she is the one on good thing he did with his life, and so he's like, and also she's the only family he has. So if someone hurt her, he would go berserk. He should go berserk about that. That was honestly
the
what
Hulk
I was
is
hoping.
like,
I was hoping that would be what turns him back into a savage Hulk, because he's that angry that someone hurt his cousin.
Maybe there's
it would have been
for later.
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah, I think it would have been nice to like give a little hint though about like how hard he goes for his family at like being like oh, like you mess with the wrong bloodline or whatever, like put on the blood. Because we're about to see like how hard he'll go for his family. So not to give too much away to the surprise, but I think it just would have been a little nice to be like, oh, okay, like he's like serious about his family and his bloodline. It would have just been like, because we just know him as like, oh, he's Hulk, he's Mark Ruffalo, cute,
Yeah, that's like, I definitely agree with all of that. Then Daredevil falls from the sky. Jen is happy to see him, and I love Pug's reaction to them. He's like, wait, are they a thing? Is this sign that's happening? I love that. Oh man, I love Pug just so much.
I want little like side videos of him and Nikki like doing stuff. Like give me them shopping, please.
Like shorts.
Yes.
That I would love that.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah, they used to do those like
Madison
one
pops
cuts
up
or whatever.
Yeah.
Yes, I need all the side characters from all the shows because there were some pretty funny side characters.
Oh yeah, I honestly think this show, and also maybe Miss Marvel, probably had some of the best side characters we've had throughout the entire Disney Plus shows. They had such great side characters.
Yeah, everybody's like best friend is really cool.
Yeah.
Let's see. Emil heads back to prison as his accountability, which we see also in the again in the post-credit scene where Wong lets him back out of prison, which kind of makes it so I guess he doesn't actually have that accountability, but that doesn't make a lot of sense to me, because it kind of seems like how they're saying is like he's forced now to have that accountability because she changed things. Or am I thinking too much into that?
I think Emil's gonna do what Emil wants to do because he's a big green lizard guy,
Yeah.
And also Karmatage might be a really good place for him to go to like get better training, like even more training about how to control his emotions and stuff.
We then cut to Matt comes to family dinner at the Walters house. Which I kind of
it was so cute.
I wish that that Pug and Nikki also got to be a part of this. They should.
That would have been great.
It felt a little weird that they were left out of it. To me. And that also is partially like after how Pug was acting about the idea of having to call Hulk, I want to see him interact actually with Hulk. That would be hilarious.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
I want to see him fanboy.
Yes.
That would be amazing.
He's just gonna be like, oh, faints. Like it's gonna be incredible.
Oh man. So honestly, though I did like Matt this episode. I liked him a lot more last episode. He did kind of feel a little bit out of character this episode to me. What did you guys think of how he was this episode?
So I like halfway agree with you. Like I loved him in episode 8. Episode 8 is actually really the only episode out of the entire series that I'm over the moon for. And this one I do kind of get that off feeling, but the only time I got that was when he dropped out of the sky from her changing the story. And I think that's why it feels off, because she changed.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it's a little abrupt. I feel like he would be better at meeting the parents though, because he's a lawyer who can hear people's heartbeats. But like he would have been like a little bit more smooth with her dad.
Yeah.
I feel like Jennifer was like doing the like stop embarrassing me thing, but he could have like answered it a little bit better. I feel like they were like, oh, it's the last end credit scene, write it quick. But I think he could have been a little bit smoother. But he is. Have you guys ever watched the Daredevil Netflix show?
I have. I've watched all of it.
I haven't finished it.
He's like very suave, but also like I get the awkwardness, but like I don't know. I feel like he was just like a little off. Maybe it's the jet lag from all the flights back and forth, you know?
Maybe that. Or I kind of feel it because I thought it was odd that she brought him to meet the parents. But then I thought about it a little bit more and I was like, they have a chemistry, they have a connection. It's not like they're dating. It's more like they're more like friends with benefits. So that's the vibe I get from them.
Exactly.
Yeah. And well, she also lives there now. So like where else is he really gonna go visit her? So
definitely.
But I thought it was cute because her dad was like, every conversation is going there. They really want a grandkid. I hope we get little baby Hulks. I want them. Give me the baby Hulks.
Oh god. So last week after the episode came out, the YouTube channel New Rock Stars put out a video theorizing about Jen and Matt having a baby, which was just like, what?
It was hilarious.
Yeah, it really was. And the funny thing, so someone I know on Twitter like jokingly put out a tweet, be like, what if they had a baby? And then like a day later, the New Rockstars put that out, and we all were just as ragging on them on Twitter, be like, you caused this, you made this come into existence.
You've done this to us. How dare you?
Oh man. So Bruce shows up back from Sakaar, and I honestly don't understand why Jen felt the need to tell Matt that it's her cousin Bruce. I feel like he should have known of the Hulk, as Hulk is pretty famous.
How loud do you think his heartbeat is compared to everybody else?
How loud do you
think his heartbeat is louder? Do you think the Hulk's heartbeat is a lot louder because of how big he is? He's like, no, I knew he was coming from like 6 miles away.
I feel like he probably.
It might be. Or maybe because of how big he is, his heart is bigger, so maybe it's a slower heart rate. Does that make sense?
He's like, I knew something was off. I knew something was approaching. He's like, I'm ready to Daredevil.
Bruce tells him that Ed, he knows it's been a while. That he'll tell him all about that in a bit. But first, I'd like you to meet my son, Scar. And I love that we got Scar are finally in the MCU, but I'm honestly not in love with his look. Like particularly his hair. I do not like his hair.
It was a weird choice. It was a very weird choice.
In the comics, he has like long, flowy black hair. I wish they gave him that. Like She-Hulk is able to get the long, flowy black hair, so why can't he? Like
maybe hopefully it'll grow. He's got to age up a little bit, you know.
But also particularly, I think part of why it doesn't look great is because is particularly how at the end of his hairline where he has really short hair is such a straight thing. So it almost looks like it's just like square face that they just pasted onto the CGI model, particularly because of that straight line of hairline. Like, so I think having the long flowy hair would have helped with that.
Do they have an actor picked for him yet?
Yes. Let me see if I can pull it up on IMDb. Because I did see that there is now actually an actor listed as who plays him. It's actually someone from have either of you ever heard or seen in the TV show Stargirl?
I feel like I've heard of it, but I've never seen it.
Well,
I've heard of it. It's a DC show, right?
Yes. The actor who plays him and appeared in a few episodes of Stargirl. His name is Will Duosner. He is he's only 19, which surprised me that he's so young. So since based on the face I would have guessed that the actor they chose was a little bit older than that. But yeah, I'm really excited to see more of Scar in the MCU. Later at the courthouse, we see Jen walks up in She-Hulk form. I'm wearing this stunning purple suit. I absolutely love that. The newscaster asks if she's gonna be a lawyer or if she's gonna be a superhero. Jen says both, and then one more drawing out of the credits I really want to mention because I thought it was really cool was Kevin reading the Savage She-Hulk #1 comic. That was kind of cute. And then we get at the post-credit scene. And Emil's broken out of prison by Wong, and I'm hoping this means we could get a Wong and Emil Blonsky Disney Plus show, since I don't know where else they could be showing up because none of the upcoming projects seem like it would fit them appearing. So I could honestly see them maybe making them have their own Disney Plus show.
Or
Wong deserves his own show.
Yeah,
Wong does definitely.
Yeah,
and we need to bring Madison in.
Yes.
Please.
Oh, man.
Yes.
I love Madison.
Madison is so good.
I want her to learn how to do magic, you know? That'd be incredible.
Wonger.
She's like Loki saving the world. Wonger, look what I learned how to do. I'm just trying on your jewelry.
And they could bring Ned Ed from Spider-Man in as well. I would have him get some training from Wong because after he started learning magic in No Way Home.
I know. I'm curious to see where they're gonna go with Ned after showing us that he can do it.
Annoyingly, there's a possibility he might actually not come back because as the actor did it a few weeks ago, put something out saying how he doesn't really want to come back for Spider-Man 4.
Why?
He said that he thinks that everybody has everyone like him, Tom Holland, and Zendaya. He says that they've all moved on. And they're like, I don't think that's as entirely the case. I think you're just talking out of your ass.
Yeah,
I think he just wants to try to get his own. Maybe sometimes people who play sidekicks, they're like, I don't want to be the sidekick anymore. Yeah. Maybe he has a little sidekick syndrome, and he's like, I want to be the star.
I kind of felt like it may be just like how there's been a lot of directors lately who say dumbass takes about Marvel. A lot of those directors, I'm pretty sure they're doing it because they have new movies coming out and they want to hype up their new movies by saying by calling out the biggest movie company. So Jacob Batalon, who plays Ned, he currently has a vampire TV show on Sci-Fi where there's like this comedy, a vampire show. So I'm guessing he was trying to hype up that by calling out Marvel.
It does look pretty good, though. I will say.
Yeah,
I saw a
I'm
trailer for it the
interested
other
in
day.
watching
Kind of
it.
looks kind of sick. I might watch it.
Yeah,
Not
I'm
because he
interested in
doesn't
it.
want to be Spider-Man, just because it looks fun. So
Yeah, I love vampire stuff, so I probably will end up watching it. Oh man.
yes. Oh my gosh, I can't wait for vampire stuff in the MCU. I need it.
Yes. I was
We're
so
one step
happy. I
closer.
was so happy when we got Saracen appearing in this. That was so.
Yes.
He was so fun. Even though I don't
His
know if
chicken
he
blood
is an
comment, he's like,
actual vampire, but still he has the vibes.
He can walk outside during the daylight, so maybe.
Yeah, but the thing is,
We'll see.
the thing is, like I heard some people saying like that has a reason to say he's not a vampire. But the thing is, Blade is a daywalker, so he could be also a daywalker.
Yeah, there's way too many different kinds of vampires. We got options.
Yeah.
So I honestly so as a whole, I really like this episode. I think it's really fun. As I said, I don't like that the build up from previous episodes got wiped. I love that Jen broke into the real world, as that's as like the most She-Hulk specific comic booky thing they possibly could have done with the show, and that excited me that they were willing to do that. But I do understand a lot of people probably won't like this, and I don't blame them. It's definitely not for everyone, and everybody's opinions, unless your opinions are that it's bad just because she's a female, your opinions are valid then, because it isn't a show for everyone. It's definitely not. And I like want to make sure to mention that because I feel like a lot of people think that I'm probably like attacking them or something by defending the show, but the thing is I'm definitely not. It's just I do really like the show, and that's but I think I think anyone who doesn't if it's for good criticisms, then your opinions are valid. I think that's important to mention. I think Pug was honestly my favorite character this episode, and this finale, I would say it's honestly probably one of my favorite Disney Plus finales, but is not my favorite. That ad rank still goes to Loki, because that He Who Remains reveal in Loki's finale was so good.
That was
really
good.
So
watching the Loki finale at 3 a.m. when it came out was an experience like that was so amazing, just because there was like barely any actually rumors that he was actually gonna show up, so it was so completely surprising when he did. And also getting jump scared by Miss Minutes at 3 a.m. is great.
I will say I do miss Miss Minutes. I want her to yell at me a little bit more.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I wish she like showed up in other shows. I'd be like, oh hey, was that her in the back?
I don't think it's official, but there is a Miss Minutes Twitter account that is absolutely hilarious, and they they actually earlier today put out a tweet saying that her and Kevin are friends because of Kevin being a robot in this episode.
That's so funny. Oh my gosh, they talk to each other all the time. They're secretly the timekeepers. Those are the real timekeepers.
Yep.
Pulling all the strings.
I really hope Marvel announces a season 2 soon, and once that happens, I will start again campaigning to become press with my podcast.
I believe in you.
Really,
yes,
it's
gonna happen, John. It's gonna happen.
Yeah, you deserve it. I will say, okay, so this might be my favorite Disney Plus show. Like, probably tied with Miss Marvel and WandaVision. Don't tell Loki. They feel the most comic booky. Like they feel like the most kind of like weird, outlandish. They're finally taking risks and breaking the Marvel quote unquote like formula. And I think it's funny, no offense, that I mean it's also a lot of the female shows that they're like, I don't like it. But also like it's the most comic booky shows that all these like people are like, I have all these criticisms, and I'm like you should not read what they're based off then. Like you're gonna hate it. It's like there's too much, and I'm like, there's 1,000 copies of this. Of course, there's too much. Like, I don't know. Like some people you gotta understand. There's a lot. It's coming from a lot of source material, and it's supposed to be silly.
Yeah, that is a very big thing to me. Like comics are ridiculous. That's what I love about comics. Like you,
Yeah, you
like,
don't remember Charles
everybody
Xavier going like
reference-
this all the time?
Everybody
Goofy.
references like the big comics, like your Secret Wars, your Crisis on Infinite Earths, your Old Man Logan, stuff like that. But the thing is, that's not what the majority of comics are. The majority of comics,
Yeah.
if you pull out one random anime as Hulk comic, chances are the villain. Chances are the villain is gonna be something absolutely ridiculous. Like there's a Hulk comic where where the villain in it is Rhino from Spider-Man dressed up as Santa Claus. That is the essence of comics.
That is pretty great.
Ridiculous. It's ridiculousness.
Miss Marvel's
I love it.
very first comic run, the villain is a giant bird. A giant bird
God.
that can talk. That is doing stuff in the sewers of Jersey City. It's a bird. Like they're silly. And I think everybody needs to like breathe a little bit and remember what we're watching.
That's
supposed to be goofy. Come on.
I just like you like those shows are some of my favorites. It's from Marvel. But then also like some other favorite like comic book shows in general I have are like the Harley Quinn show, Peacemaker,
yeah, I love that one.
Doom Patrol. These are the shows that are not scared to go ridiculous, and they're also not afraid to show the day-to-day life of superheroes. And that is
and like the fun stuff. Yeah, leave the seriousness to the boys. That's what they're good at. Let them handle real stuff. Let's goof around and kind of talk about it and hint at it, you know? That's like the Marvel's whole thing is tackling real world issues in a fun, lighthearted way that people can understand. So we gotta let the lightheartedness flow a little bit sometimes.
So Annabelle, what did you think of this episode as a whole?
This episode, when I finished it, I was very confused on how I felt because like
Same.
I had just come off of a high from episode 8, and then I watched this thinking I was going to continuously get that high, and it just started off and then it kind of went downhill because I feel like it was rushed with like what you said earlier, things being easy. It felt like they were rushing it, and it kind of felt to me like maybe they didn't prioritize well with the storylines throughout the entire series. And like with Titania, we only really saw her a couple times and got like no backstory really on her, and I was upset with that. I wanted to know more about her.
Jamil said that they were going to go into all of her backstory about how she had an abusive childhood, and also how she though she didn't specifically mention this, but if she says they're gonna mention all of her backstory, you also have to mention the fact that Dr. Doom is directly involved with how she came to have superpowers, and then there's nothing from that.
Maybe they're just not ready to tell us about Dr. Doom. Maybe that's what Wakanda Forever's for.
Why did Jamil in an interview say they were going to do this? They were going to talk about all these things in She-Hulk, but then they didn't. Like that was weird. Yeah. It kind of felt to me similar to how
I wish I would just like.
It kind of to me feels similar to how with WandaVision, so many of the actors were like, oh yeah, there's gonna be cameos in the last episode, even though there wasn't, which pissed me off.
The editors hate us. They're listening to these interviews and they're going, huh, no, there's not. they're sabotaging them. They're like, fun, not gonna happen.
Yeah, it just kind of felt like there's a lot of loose ends still. And like we finished the season, and now I'm kind of like when Titania busted through that wall at Intelligentsia, I was like, oh shit, I forgot about you, because there's so much going on and you're not really keeping a cohesive line of all of these stories that I'm forgetting bits and pieces. Like I kind of forgot about Josh. Like it just feels odd to me. The entire show, I like it. It just feels odd because
I can definitely understand that.
Not like wrapped up well for me. And maybe it's for season 2. Maybe they're holding on to it, but I feel like they could have put it together a little bit better.
Yeah, I can definitely see that.
Yeah. I think there should have been like a 10th episode, and we could have made like the award show where she freaks out, and like the beginning of this conflict, like one episode, and then there'd be a cliffhanger for the finale, and kind of like you could really expound on some of the fights maybe and something.
That would have been
I
great.
feel like again Marvel like tried to go too hard too fast.
Yeah.
And
Which
realized
is
at the last
kinda
second,
what
like that
they have-
meme where they're like
it's kind of like what's happened with most of the finales for the Disney Plus shows. They've just been
like they're just
so rushed.
Yeah.
a little too rushed. Even though this one had 9 episodes, which I was so excited about, but a few of the episodes
I think the two shows
wasted,
really that I think the two shows that really their finales felt the least rushed was Miss Marvel and Loki. Like Miss Marvel felt rushed in the 5th episode, but then the 6th episode didn't really feel rushed to me.
That kind of like completed it really well. And Loki was just absolutely perfect.
Yes, from beginning to end.
Yeah.
So Betsy, what did you think of this episode as a whole?
I absolutely loved it because I love when Marvel goes super campy and ridiculous, because I want it to feel like I'm reading a comic book. So I really liked the fourth wall break where she jumped through everything. And I know some people said it was like a little too like meta, but I'm like, oh, you're gonna hate She-Hulk because it gets a lot worse. But I definitely think like I wish there would have been like a fight.
There's literally moments in the comics where like she changes into different outfits between panels. There's so many creative ways that they use breaking the fourth wall in the comics. It's so cool.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite, besides obviously like Deadpool, it's like one of my favorite fourth wall breaking comics. There's a few DC ones that do it too, but I really enjoyed this episode, probably because I was on a little bit of like an excitement high from kind of knowing what happened. I might have seen like a spoiler and I got really stoked. I'm not even mad that it got ruined for me. I was like,
I'm not surprised. I know of those things that came out yesterday. I didn't look at them myself, but I do know
my own fault for going on Twitter at 4 a.m. like half asleep. I was like, oh shoot. I was like, I'll see it in 2 hours. But I really liked it. I liked how they wrapped it up. I honestly, no offense, love Daredevil. Kind of wish he wouldn't have been in that episode until the very end. Like oh, I'm coming to check on you. I wish he wouldn't have been in a super suit at all, because like, why, I felt like it was just another way to kind of like, Daredevil's in the show again, I think they kind of need to stop using him as an excuse, even though we do love him. But I wish there would have been like just one fight, mostly like Todd and She-Hulk.
Yeah.
I wish she would have just gotten to like beat the crap out of him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Definitely. That was another.
Yeah, and have like Emil be like, "Yeah, you go." Like that would have been.
Oh yeah.
He got off too easy.
Also, I wish we got to see the gang appear, not just Record since they were at Emil's retreat, and like have them just as be like like
Mamble and stuff. Like, they could be like helping fight all the intelligentsia. It would have been great.
And
I think it would have wrapped it up a little bit
her
more.
the whole time. That would have been awesome.
Yeah, they're like, this time we do encourage violence. We're here to offer you violence,
Yes.
Like that would have been a little bit. I think it would have wrapped it up a little bit more. Even though I did like the fourth wall break, I think it would have been cool for her to be like, can we handle the like real root of the problem, which is Todd, because he is the real root of the problem, every problem. So, but besides that, I really enjoyed it. I loved how crazy it was and campy it was. I think my neighbors hate me from how absolutely loud I screamed when I saw Hulk, because I was like, oh, I know what's happening. I was like, I know what's coming. Just like showing up like, hey. So it was pretty exciting. I also do like how she's like stopped kind of catering to people who want her to be like just girly. I feel like they do that to celebrities. Like, what are you wearing? What are your like skincare, like all that? She's like, no, we're not doing that, and she just like walks away. I think it's really cool and kind of badass.
Oh yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
So one thing I want to mention out here. So there's something that I'm pretty sure it's got to be a deleted scene that ain't it actually like was a scene and not just something like behind the scenes, because there was in this there was a featurette before the show came out that showed old footage of Jen and Nikki at Bruce's bar. So I'm wondering if in one version of this
that would be
finale
cute.
we would have gotten the instead of it being a family barbecue, it being like everybody's at Bruce's bar, which I kind of wish that was what happened, because like I would have
Yeah,
rather
that would've been
heard
cute.
everyone at Bruce's bar than them just being at this family dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would have also liked to see Pug go like
Yeah.
the Tony Stark, you know, like he's just like caressing the the carding. He's like, oh my god, you know. I think that would have been great. I hope we get that in like assembled or something. Like, give us some deleted scenes, because that sounds great.
I'm hoping that in assembled, like there's just every once in a while there's I'll just you see in the background the CGI She-Hulk just walking through the set. That would be hilarious, just to make it fit with this episode.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh man. So before I get into the bits of trivia that I have, I want to take a moment to say to thank everybody who has joined me on my podcast journey, both as listeners and as guests. I could not have been able to do this without you all. You all mean the world to me. I hope you all continue to join me, as in a little over a month we start our year 2 of this journey, and I hope you all enjoy the positivity that I try to put out through my podcast. So the answer to the trivia question from earlier, Keith got it right. It was Shambhala, and then I have three trivia questions that are based on this actually episode, where they're like just to see how well you guys paid attention to the episode.
Oh no.
I'm nervous.
I'm screwed.
All right.
We'll see.
The first one, what prop from Thor was mentioned in the episode
Oh,
from
I have
the
no
first
idea.
Thor film?
What prop?
Yes.
Oh, I have no idea.
All right. So the prop was right when Jen gets lands and in the movie set. There's some people talking off screen about how one of them was asked to make an Infinity Gauntlet for the first Thor film. Because, in reference to how there was a fake Infinity Gauntlet in Odin's vault. All right, and then
I didn't even like register the Thor part. I was just like, oh, Infinity Gauntlet, whatever.
Yeah.
So the next one, when Kevin says the VFX team has moved on music for what plays in the background.
Oh shit.
I know he says a different project, but I don't know what the music was.
Oh, I don't know either.
Is it gonna? Oh my god, what was it? If it's X-Men, I'll cry. Don't tell me that. No, I would have recognized if it was the X-Men. What am I talking about? What is? I don't know.
What is it, John?
It was music from Black Panther: Wakanda Forever.
Oh, that makes sense. That's the next one.
I cannot wait for that movie.
Yeah.
I'm so stoked.
The third one, at the end of the episode, what does the newscaster call Jen as she enters the courthouse?
Oh, a diva. Diva.
The diva lady of law.
Yeah, so she said they said particularly the difficult diva of law. So
difficult diva of law, yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So Sign I've started doing my podcast. I think this has been a really fun thing. I'm gonna allow the two of you to write sign in chat that you want me to say in an announcer voice as I end the episode. So let's see what fun things you guys want me to say.
Oh God. Okay. In the chat. All right.
Yes. So I will say it in an announcer voice.
In an announcer, like the news, like a newscaster.
Yeah. So I like that, sort of like the like how I have at the beginning of the episode when I'm like doing my intro.
Okay. All right. I got it.
All right. So the first one we have Betsy wanted me to say She-Hulk fucks.
Yes.
I love that.
I need a shirt that says that with like Matt Murdock on the bottom.
Hell yeah.
Okay, hold on. I'm typing as fast as I can. Okay.
Breaking news: Elon Musk is an alien, and Captain American fucks.
Elon Musk is an alien. You heard it here first.
Okay. Hey, all right. So thank you for listening. If you like this gamma analysis, please give a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or a 5-star rating on Spotify. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the episodes. Please let me know. And if you'd like to listen to more from me, please subscribe. Before I end this off, is there anything either of you would like to say?
Thank you so much for having me. I had a great time with you guys tonight. This was fun.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. It was a blast. And also the MCU is here to stay.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
Yes. I can't wait.
Hey, I would rather the MCU than the MCU.
Yeah, same.
And check out Annabelle on Vendetta podcast, and also check out Betsy's cosplay. It's at JynandTonics on I think all of your social medias. So
I try to make it easy.
Yeah, and she is absolutely fantastic at what she does. She actually is. If you saw the other day, I put out this a ad for my podcast with She-Hulk telling people to listen to the show. She's actually the person who played a She-Hulk on that. So if you like that, you're probably gonna really like all the rest for her cosplay. All right.
No, thanks. You'll make me cry. I can't handle it.
Many more game analysis from me coming, so keep on the lookout. This again is your host, Smash Baby John, signing off.